Josh Hart just added a genuinely unexpected title to his resume this week that has nothing to do with basketball at all, and it traces all the way back to something he accomplished as a teenager. On a separate note, OG Anunoby made a meaningful trip back to his own birthplace this off-season for a cause well beyond basketball. I've gone through both of these stories, plus some of Hart's funniest off-season moments, every quote, every detail, and I'm going to walk you through all of it right now. So before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because this one's a genuinely fun, feel-good mix of stories. Let's start with Hart's new role, because it's a genuinely fitting one once you learn the backstory. According to ESPN's Ian Begley, Josh Hart has signed on as a Scouting America ambassador. It's not just a random endorsement deal either. Hart actually earned the rank of Eagle Scout back when he was in high school, the highest achievable rank within the Boy Scouts program, one that requires years of merit badges, genuine leadership experience, and a significant community service project before it's ever awarded. Reaching that rank is a genuinely rare accomplishment even among dedicated scouts, with only a small percentage of participants ever completing the full requirements before aging out of the program. Reflecting on that new ambassador role, Hart said scouting taught him discipline and what it means to be a man of your word, a genuinely thoughtful reflection connecting values he clearly picked up as a teenager directly to the reputation he's built as a professional athlete. It's a nice, full-circle moment for Hart specifically. He's become known around the league as much for his hustle, rebounding, and defensive toughness as for any flashy offensive skill set, exactly the kind of blue-collar, values-driven identity that fits naturally with an organization built around discipline, leadership, and community service. Hart set a Knicks record for triple-doubles last season and led the entire league in total minutes played. Numbers that reflect exactly the kind of relentless, disciplined effort scouting values tend to instill early on. Taking on this ambassador role gives him a genuine platform to connect with young people beyond just basketball, using his own championship-caliber career as living proof that the lessons learned through scouting can translate into real, tangible success at the highest level of professional sports. It's the kind of endorsement partnership that feels genuinely earned rather than simply purchased, since Hart's actual playing style already embodies exactly the values the organization represents. Hart hasn't exactly been quiet about the rest of his offseason either, and some of his other recent moments have been genuinely entertaining. Just a couple weeks before this Scouting America news, Hart responded on social media to a post noting the Knicks were roughly 2 months out from opening training camp. And according to reporting from Clutch Points, his reaction was described as pure Hart, the kind of blunt, funny response fans have come to expect from him whenever the off-season grind starts creeping back into view. It's exactly the sort of personality that's made Hart a genuine fan favorite in New York, someone who clearly takes the game itself seriously, but doesn't take himself too seriously in the process. That kind of authentic, unfiltered social media presence has become a genuine part of Hart's identity as a public figure, separate entirely from anything he does on the actual basketball court. There's also been plenty of light-hearted Hart content circulating from this same stretch of the offseason. One widely shared story involved a Knicks champion believed to be Hart himself given the framing, jokingly campaigning to be his own +1 to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. A genuinely funny bit of off-season content that shows exactly the kind of easygoing, culturally plugged-in personality Hart brings to New York both on and off the court. And in a separate moment following the wild opening days of free agency, Hart playfully hit newly departed Ariel Hukporti with what was described as a cheesesteak threat after Hukporti signed with the Philadelphia 76ers. A lighthearted jab referencing Philadelphia's most famous local food that captures the kind of good-natured ribbing that exists between former teammates even after a trade or free agency move sends them to a division rival. It's exactly the kind of viral, relatable content that keeps fans engaged with the team even during the slower, news-light stretches of the summer calendar. Now let's shift to OG Anunoby, who used part of his own offseason for something considerably more meaningful than a joke on social media. Anunoby returned to London, the city where he was actually born, for what's been described as a noble cause, using his platform as a championship hero to give back to the community and country tied to his own origins. It's a genuinely meaningful gesture from a player who's become one of the most respected two-way wings in the league, using the visibility that comes with an NBA championship to make a real, tangible impact somewhere personally significant to him rather than simply enjoying a quiet offseason away from the spotlight. Anunoby's connection to the United Kingdom has always been a genuine part of his story, and returning there in a meaningful way just months after winning his first championship adds a real, full-circle element to his own summer. Anunoby's own season leading into that championship was genuinely eventful too, marked by real perseverance through injury. He dealt with a hamstring strain that cost him real time last November, with the Knicks leaning heavily on Hart and Miles McBride to help absorb his minutes during that stretch, and he battled through additional hamstring and knee issues again in May, right in the thick of the postseason run. Despite all of that, Anunoby remained one of the defining two-way forces of New York's championship run. Someone Mike Brown trusted in the biggest defensive matchups all postseason long, including the iconic tip during the finals that's already become one of the signature moments of this entire championship era. Watching a player who fought through that much physical adversity all season still find the time and energy to give back meaningfully during his own offseason says something genuine about his character beyond just what shows up in a box score. Step back and look at both of these stories together, and they offer a nice window into the personalities anchoring this championship roster heading into its title defense. Hart's new role as a Scouting America ambassador connects directly back to values he picked up as a teenager, values that clearly still define how he approaches both his career and his public persona today. Whether that's showing up for young scouts or cracking jokes about wedding invitations and cheesesteaks with former teammates. Anunoby's trip back to London, meanwhile, reflects a quieter, more personal kind of generosity, using his own hard-earned platform to give back somewhere that matters deeply to him personally. Neither story changes anything about roster construction or contract negotiations, but together they offer a genuinely warm look at who these championship Knicks actually are once the cameras aren't specifically pointed at basketball. A reminder that the people behind this title run have real values and priorities that extend well beyond the sport that made them famous. So here's where everything stands. Josh Hart has added Scouting America ambassador to his growing list of accomplishments, a role directly connected to his own Eagle Scout background, and one that fits naturally with the discipline and toughness that's defined his entire NBA career. He's also kept fans thoroughly entertained throughout the off-season with his usual mix of blunt honesty and genuine humor. Meanwhile, OG Anunoby used part of his own summer to return to his birthplace of London for a meaningful cause, a quieter but equally significant gesture from one of this championship roster's most important two-way pieces. So tell me what you think. Did you know Josh Hart was an Eagle Scout? And does this new ambassador role change how you view his leadership on this Knicks team? And what did you make of OG Anunoby's trip back to London during the off-season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you catch every update as it happens. I'll be back soon with more Knicks news.